refuge. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. So we will begin, as always, with our 15 minutes of seated meditation. We recite the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered, even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. Well, good evening, everyone. Relax. Sit comfortably. Tonight I wanted to talk to you about lay practice, specifically lay Zen practice. I've been interested in this phenomenon of lay Zen practice for quite some time now. I don't have any firm numbers on it, but I am guessing that Zen would probably shake out the same way as most religious communities do, in that the congregation outnumbers the cleric or the minister or the priest or rabbi by a lot. I'm guessing that there are more lay Zen practitioners than there are Zen priests and so on. The Vimalakirti Nirdesa Sutra is a favorite of mine. If you haven't read it, I suggest you do so. And it's one of those Mahayana scriptures that is, let's say, embellished somewhat. There are parasols with jewels and flowers coming down from the sky and chairs with jewels on them, and it's a pretty interesting piece of prose in and of itself. But the fact of the matter is that it also encompasses the Dharma teachings. Another thing that's interesting about it is that, like the Heart Sutra, it isn't the Buddha himself that is expounding the Dharma. And at some point, yes, he does. But for most of it, it's kind of a question and answer or a situation response scenario between Vimalakirti and any number of disciples and bodhisattvas and other people that come by. And the gist of it, in a really fast synopsis, is that Vimalakirti is unwell. He's manifesting as unwell anyway, because there's a point to him being unwell. And all of the lay kings and just general people, they come and visit and say, "Hey, how you doing? Can I get you anything? Nice little bowl of soup, perhaps?" And that's all good. And then the Buddha says, "Hey, Shariputra, why don't you go up and inquire about Vimalakirti's health?" And he and all the other disciples and bodhisattvas are all, "I don't think so. The last time I was with Vimalakirti, he kinda, and in a nutshell, he basically gave them a smackdown for something that they thought they had right, and it turns out that they actually didn't." And one could conceivably say that Vimalakirti was being, kind of a holier than thou, my practice is better than your practice, I know more, I have more wisdom, but that wasn't the case. Whatever Vimalakirti had, he would share freely according to the needs or the situation. He would extend that from himself. He was very wealthy. He had a house, he had a wife and family, a 2-chariot garage, no doubt, and he had this habit of, like, if you saw a negative behavior, someone being greedy, for example, or not that it's negative behavior, but it's an undesirable circumstance that somebody was in poverty. Vimalakirti, for example, would then, in that case, just be generous, right? Vimalakirti was, you could say, a 1%er, but in a non-asura-like way. He cared about the other 99%. If there were a skillful way that he could assist someone, either materially, financially, spiritually, he would do it. He was Mr. Moral, although he was also one of those that, in order to save hell beings, would go into the hell realms like brothels and bars and whatnot. So Vimalakirti's instructions throughout the entire sutra go on along these lines. Shariputra thinks he's got meditation down, he's sitting there and he's all peaceful, and he thinks to himself, yeah, here's some samadhi for you. I got some samadhi going on. And Vimalakirti would come along and say, yeah, no, not so much. Here's what you need to be doing. In fact, the word nirdesa in the title of the sutra, the Vimalakirti Nirdesa Sutra, is instruction or suggestion, or you could say input, maybe. So Vimalakirti goes on, and one of my favorite sections is where Crown Prince Manjushri, he has all these bodhisattvas and others nearby, and he asks them, how do you enter the Dharma gate of non-duality? And of course, all the bodhisattvas have their own answers, most of which are partially correct, one could say. And then he comes around and he asks the non-ordained, the non-priest, the non-monk, the wealthy layperson, Vimalakirti, so what's your response? How does one enter the Dharma gate of non-duality? And here is Vimalakirti's response. Now, no, my camera didn't just freeze. I was actually trying to be as still as I possibly could just to instill that little bit of, is he frozen or is he still good? What's going on? Uh, so, that was his entrance into the Dharma gate of non-duality, which for those of us who practice kongans in our school, that is akin to the either silent response or the don't know response, complete with, hitting the floor, yelling cats, or ack. So Vimalakirti, in a nutshell, where I was headed with this, is that even though he's not a monk, he's not ordained, he's not official in any way, has wisdom. He has a lot of wisdom. He has, one could say, Buddha-like wisdom. Let me read you a little section from it. I asked, Venerable Vimalakirti, what do you mean by bestowal of the Dharma? He replied, the bestowal of the Dharma is beyond the element of time, having neither start nor finish, and each offering should benefit all living beings at the same time. This is the bestowal of the Dharma. Right? All affected equally. All benefited. I asked, what does this mean? He replied, this means that Bodhi springs from kindness, Maitri, toward living beings. The salvation of living beings springs from compassion, Karuna. The upholding of right dharma from joy, mudita. Wisdom from equanimity, upeksha. The overcoming of greed from charity perfection, dana paramita. Ceasing to break the precepts from discipline perfection, shila paramita. Egolessness from patience perfection, kshanti paramita, relinquishment of body and mind from zeal perfection, virya paramita, realization of enlightenment from serenity perfection, dhyana paramita, realization of all knowledge, sarvajna, from wisdom perfection, prajna paramita. The teaching and converting of living beings springs from emptiness. Non-rejection of worldly activities springs from formlessness. Appearance in the world springs from inactivity. Sustaining the right dharma from the power of expedient devices. The understanding of all things commensurate with neither acceptance nor rejection of them to realize their oneness from the karma of wisdom, the eradication of all troubles, kleshas, hindrances and evils from all karmas, the realization of all wisdom and good virtue from the contributory conditions leading to enlightenment. All this pertains to the bestowal of Dharma. A bodhisattva holding this meeting that bestows the Dharma is a great almsgiver. He is also a field of blessings for all worlds. Now, I know that's got some of Robert's favorite things in there, the immeasurables. But it also has a lot of other things that we do. Now, okay, so if we go down this list, right? Bodhi springs from kindness toward living beings, okay? I want you to, keep track of this and check off the ones that you do and don't do, okay? So, salvation from using compassion, upholding of the right dharma from joy, mudita, right? Sympathetic joy. Wisdom from equanimity. The overcoming of greed from charity, practicing dana. Ceasing to break the precepts from discipline, perfection, Shila Paramita, or moral behavior. Egolessness from patience, perfection, Kshanti Paramita. We can all do that, right? Relinquishment of body and mind from zeal, perfection, Virya Paramita. Realization of enlightenment from serenity, perfection, Dhyana Paramita, meditation, right? Realization of all knowledge from wisdom, perfection, Prajna Paramita. The teaching of emptiness, the non-rejection of worldly activities, appearance in the world springing from inactivity. Sustaining the right dharma from the power of expedient devices, upaya. Like Vimalakirti was being skillful when he manifested himself as being unwell. My point is this. I could go further down the list, but it's not PowerPoint presentation, so I'm not going to go through every single bullet point. But Vimalakirti, the layman from Lichavi, the merchant, the guy who's well off, the 1%er, is able to do all of these things and exhibit wisdom that exceeds, in my opinion, that of the bodhisattvas and disciples who were there on this particular day. So we went through that whole list, and I have a question for you. As a non-monastic, which most of us are, as a non-monastic, which of these can't you do? Not which ones do you choose not to do, which ones do you choose not to do because of laziness or inconvenience, but which ones are you totally incapable of doing? If you find that you've checked off in the yes column to all of those virtues, all of those behaviors, all of those perfections, all of those immeasurables, then why do you think that awakening is beyond you? Okay, so we will resume once again with another 15 minutes of seated meditation. I'm going to put the stick somewhere where it won't fall over. That seems safe. So 15 minutes seated meditation. we'll chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is safe from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness, no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth, until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth, until no old age and death, and also no extinction of it, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The bodhisattva depends on prajna paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on prajna paramita and attain anuttara samyak sambodhi. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is to not fall. So proclaim the prajna paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says gate gate para gate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Gate gate para gate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Gate gate para gate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Now we will do our personal dedications of merit. I've got a couple of people I will mention, and then I will open it up to you. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry, and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Mike Gingy Wood, Agnes Gartland. Lily. Would anyone like to add anyone in?
Kim Hawkins.
Any others?
Sarah.
That it? All beings in the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Maha Prajna Paramita. Recite our faith and practice vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death, and definitely will see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. Hangdal.
Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings in grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
And we recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. Strive to realize your true nature. Do not squander your time by night or day. And I'll extinguish the candles. And thanks for